Good evening, ladies. Thursday evening, 7:30 p.m, Facebook Live with me, Stephanie, your coach, your curator of this amazing community, Women Who Don't Drink. So welcome, new ladies. We have quite a few new ladies joining us this week. Please watch the welcome video at the top of the page. It will explain where everything is. If you can't find anything, please ask. That's what we're here for. We're in the middle of an exercise challenge this week, so if you're new, you might think that's a bit odd. So far, check out the video from Sally Wilkinson. If you seriously need some motivation, that woman is very good at getting us motivated in terms of exercise. Very honest, shoots from the hip, love it, tells it like it is. And then we've had the lovely Sam in, who's our friendly dance teacher, which, you know, and also we've had Anne, the amazing Anne, demonstrating that dance for us. So if you need some fun, nobody's watching, dance along, have a laugh, get warm, enjoy yourself. It's all about feeling good. And obviously we've had Rachel talking about yoga, which is another amazing thing you can do and feel good. So that's the whole point, is I want you to just do something to get moving, and then I want you to notice how good that feels. It's all about putting new good habits in, which you will have heard me say a million times. If I know we have lots of ladies that are really into exercise in this group, and lots of different exercise, which is amazing. So please feel free to share during this week. I've seen some fantastic comments on the posts. Feel free to share your own post, or if you want to, a video, that would be lovely. Share what exercise you do, what the benefits have been for you. You never know who you're going to inspire, okay? So if you have something inspirational to share around exercise, please share it. Okay, so tonight's Facebook Live was a request from a lady. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. I'm sure she'll remind me. Was sort of, you know, about living life alcohol free. You know, what happens next? And it's a huge subject, and I'm probably going to come back and tackle it quite a few times actually. But I thought we'd just start tonight and see what people think and what comes of it. So what I've noticed is there are sort of two stages, and this is different, so it's not going to be the same for everyone. What I've noticed is some people need support to reduce, take a break, or stop drinking. Some people don't, some people do. And that can take different lengths of time for other people. As you've heard me say, it's a journey, and you will have seen a lot of ladies share about it takes time to bed that in. And ultimately that's about you feeling okay, it's about moving forward, and about alcohol not being an issue for you. That's what it's about. We don't mind if you drink occasionally, or all we care about is that you're healthy and happy and you feel okay in your life. So that it's more about a mindset, so alcohol just isn't an issue for you. Now for some people that will be fine and they'll be off, and they won't really think twice about it. And then for other people, they will reduce, take a break, or stop, and then it will be what next type of thing. And the trick is to keep moving forward. Now, easy for me to say, and I'm one of these people that, yes, I stopped, but then it was about life. It really was about life for me. It was about how I looked at all areas of my life, and I was the designer of my life. Essentially, that's what I did. And it took years, okay, ladies, years and years and years. And some of it was really quite difficult, but it was something that I wanted to do. It's something that I believed in. So I think this is the biggest bit, okay? It's about how you sort of move into just looking at your life and looking at all areas of your life. And that's why I talk about lots of different things on this page, and why I encourage you to talk about lots of different things as well, because ultimately this is about life. It's about how we live our life, and why life coaching is a huge part of what I do. Essentially, I want you to be healthy and happy, whatever that looks like. And that might mean a million things. So alcohol might only be a tiny part of that. It might only be the start of the journey. And you will have heard ladies talk about them stop drinking and then they're retraining, or they stop drinking and they change their relationship, or they stop drinking and they go traveling, or they stop drinking and they start a business up. You know, all you'll have seen this sort of happening on the page, or just get a dog and, you know, go dog walking. It's sort of, how do you move on to the next phase so that you're living life and you're enjoying life, okay? Now, this can start with like really big questions about who are you? And how do you want to live your life? How do you, you know, what does that look like? And that might sound, well, they are really big questions. And I definitely did a lot of this in the beginning. You know, I'd sort of gone from being a party girl and that being a huge part of my life, a huge part of my identity. You know, I knew where I fitted, my social circle, to be like, that wasn't there anymore. And that part of me wasn't, that was a huge part of me. So it's like, okay, who am I? And who do I want to be, you know, and figuring that out and learning about myself. And that took a long time. So it's okay to be in that process. And it's also okay to enjoy it, you know, whether that's about health and fitness for you. Now, quite a lot of ladies will move very quickly, you know, because obviously alcohol has a lot to do with health for some people. A lot of ladies will move really quickly into sort of health and fitness, and then almost what I call like on conveyor belt. So it's almost like you stop drinking and then you step onto the conveyor belt and it's like whoosh, and you're on the health and fitness conveyor belt. So you want to learn about, you know, food and nutrition, and you want to get into some sort of exercise, whatever that may be, or maybe yoga or meditation. But that's the thing that consumes you, that's the thing that you're passionate about, that becomes part of you, it becomes part of your life, it becomes part of what you're enjoying. For some people that's very much a spiritual journey, whether that's about, you know, a religion or personal development, or it could be about absolutely anything. Personal development, obviously reading books, doing lots of training, having therapy, you know, maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's sort of focusing on your children. And a lot of ladies actually do retrain, you know, that's very, very common. So it's that time to reflect and review what's working, what isn't working, and don't be scared if that's literally nothing. You know, I think I can quite safely say there probably was one area of my life, sort of, a couple of areas of my life that was sort of working. So I've got some amazing friends who love me unconditionally, so I'm very lucky. So that area of my life has always worked very well for me. Obviously I've tested that at points, but they still love me. You know, my work was okay, could have been better, it was okay, but literally every other area of my life needed tackling. And also, you know, through that, learning about myself. So don't be scared if you sort of look at it and you think, oh my God, where to start? You know, where do I start? I literally don't know who I am. I don't know anything about myself. You know, I don't know what I want to do with my life. You know, it's that sort of blank canvas, and thinking about where you need to start. Now, a really good little technique for this when things can seem too big or confusing is what I call the wheel of life, and I will try and post and put an attachment so you can see what I mean. But essentially, hang on a minute, let me just get a pen and paper. Some of you will have done this with me. Let me just draw it out. Very crude drawing, ladies. I'm very unprepared. So basically, some of you will have seen this before. So it's a wheel with segments. So if you play Trivial Pursuit, that's what that looks like, is like a seggy thing. And so it's got 8 segments. You don't have to fill them all. And on the, you just name each segment something that's important. So that might be work, it might be money, it might be your home, it might be your partner or your children, or spiritual or personal development or health and fitness. It could be absolutely anything. It's those areas of your life. And what you do is you scale them 1 to 10. So 10 being really good and 1 being not very good at all. So it might be that, you know, you haven't got much money, so that's a 2, and your relationship isn't that great, so maybe that's a 3, and maybe the children are struggling, maybe that's a 2, but actually you're really healthy and fit at the moment, so that's an 8, and your friends are really great, and that's a 9. So you see what I mean? So then you're sort of looking at the low numbers and thinking, well, what can I do to improve that? What that does is it allows you to get it all out on paper and actually see what's going on and see where the areas of your life are not, you know, not working so much for you. I will post about this later and do an attachment with it so you can see what I mean and put more detail with it. The idea is not to get overwhelmed, okay? So when I first started out, it would have been all too easy for me to think, oh my God, where do I start? But you just start. It doesn't really matter where you start, and that because you learn through doing, which you will have heard me say a million times. You learn through taking action. Basically, sitting and doing nothing isn't going to get you anywhere. So, you know, when I started out, I needed to learn about myself, I needed to understand myself, I needed to sort my money out, I needed to sort my kids out, I needed to sort my house out, my chaotic relationships, there's quite a lot of things there, and obviously different things took different priorities, so I had to, you know, balance them. I didn't tackle all of them all at the same time. I'm not superhuman. So you pick the one thing that's going to make the biggest difference for you. So whether that's actually, you know, investing in your personal development or investing in your spiritual growth and going on a journey with that. Okay, so this is about life, it's about living. So you've taken the alcohol away, whether that's reducing or taking a break, but it feels different in your brain. You know, you've made a change, there's been a mindset shift. So it's like, well, what next? Well, you're alive, so you have a life, so you can do what you want. Okay, it's about being the designer of your life, being the driver of your own bus. And it's not always about stuff. It's not always about getting the job or saving money or going traveling. Sometimes that's about internal stuff. So it can be, the journey can be inside. It can be, how do I just be? You know, how do I want my way of being to be? You know, is that about, I want to be happy, or I want to feel at peace, or I want to feel fulfilled? You know, it's about your way of being. There's no right or wrongs. This is your life, and you pick the thing that makes sense to you, even if you don't know. You just start somewhere. Remember, the only way is through, and it's your life, and you learn by doing. We can help out in this group if you're not sure. You know, like the lovely Eileen, she wants to travel, and she was really honest and said she was nervous about traveling on her own. Let's be honest, I think most of us are. I've traveled a lot on my own. I still get nervous, and she reached out and asked for support in this group. So she's living life on her terms, being honest, being vulnerable, and asking for support. Okay, it's okay to not be sure or have an idea of what you want to do, but know that your fears are stopping you. This is what this group is for, is to support you on your journey, is to support you to step onto the conveyor belt of life, so you go whoosh and you're not even thinking about alcohol. Okay, that's the whole point. So when I talk about so many different things and lots of different times. So I talk about exercise, I talk about food, I talk about sleep, I talk about passions, I talk about hobbies, you know, all these different things. It's not that all these things are going to work. It might be that one of these things works for you, and that's why we cover a range of different subjects, because what we want to do is we want to reach one lady that has a light bulb moment, and then she's like, oh yes. So to give you an example of that, one of my friends, she had forgotten that she loved playing hockey, and then as an adult she remembered that and joined an adult hockey team, and she absolutely loves it. It's really important. It's a really important part of her, and it sounds like something really simple and really little, but it's added such huge value to her life, and it's such a big part of her life because it's part of her identity and who she is. It's tapping into her passions, her identity. It helps her to feel good about herself, you know, all those things. So you have to get out there and try stuff if you don't know what it is. And if your journey is inside, then go on that journey, because you absolutely can feel happy, at peace and fulfilled. You absolutely can, okay? Now, when you're on this journey, it takes time. So patience, trust the journey, have faith. You know, this is life. This is the way it is. Not every day is going to be good. Sometimes we're going to get it. Sometimes we're not going to get it. But the most important thing, and something that I think is really exciting about where we are now, is that there are no rules, okay? Particularly, I'm going to be quite old-fashioned now, ladies. Particularly as women, I think historically we have... it's been easy for us to be boxed into gender roles, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't be. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that it should be about choice. You know, if we want to choose to be a stay-at-home mum, that's great. If we want to choose to not have children, that's great. If we want to choose to be in a relationship, great. If we want to choose to not be in a relationship, fantastic. If we want to choose to travel the world, you know, whatever it is, that actually we have choice nowadays. So we live in exciting times. There are no rules, so you can dream. You know, you have time to think, you have time to explore and think, well, who do I want to be? How do I want to live my life? Where do I want to live? You know, who do I want to live? How do I want to live? You know, we can do and be and have anything we want at the moment. It's very exciting. So if you want to live in a caravan in the middle of a forest, you can absolutely do that. So let yourself dream, ladies, okay? So if anybody is alcohol free and they've cracked the alcohol free thing and they're struggling to figure out life, please let me know in the comments, or let me know in a group, or PM me, and let's have a conversation and see if we can't get things moving for you, okay? Always a pleasure, ladies. Any questions, just ask. Otherwise, I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.